We're live. You're up.
My name is Cupid. On a red shape I fly. We're drawing hearts tonight. Hearts tonight.
Oh, who's here? All right. So hearts tonight in preparation for Valentine's Day. We're just doing hearts. I don't know. We could do the Mola Ram tearing the heart out of a guy. I think that would qualify, right?
Very romantic.
I'm drawing Ironheart. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Marvel character Ironheart.
Is that the little girl Iron Man?
That's the one. Yeah, the little girl Iron Man. Yeah. Not sure if that's a politically correct way to say it or not. But, all right. So I'm on screen. Drew's on screen. Napua and Scott are here, but they're not on screen. Or they're not on camera.
Hi, everybody.
Sorry, I'm going to mute myself real quick. Got to sharpen my pencil.
Oh, I'm in the dentist chair.
So, how's everybody doing? I know it's been a long month.
The political climate is icky.
Icky, yes, that's putting it mildly.
Well, I went to work today, but I wore blue in support of the 50-51 movement.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about the protests that went on today. I haven't seen too much about those. I know we had one here in Hawaii, but
I don't. Who knows? Who knows if it does anything? I doubt it. But people seem to be lacking in empathy these days. But
yeah,
I don't know. I just wanted to show some solidarity, and I put up all my Black History posters in defiance of the order. So we'll see what happens. But
for those of you that aren't aware, Drew and I are both federal employees, so we're seeing a lot of the emails and OPM notices and shit like that. So it hits a little differently when you're on the actually getting the emails. But anyway, Valentine's Day coming up. You guys excited? You and Lawrence got something romantic planned?
I'm not sure what we're doing. I think we might just stay at home and make a cake.
Is that code?
Making
no, actual.
Wink,
actual
wink,
cake.
nudge.
Is it caked? That's
funny. I don't do anything on Valentine's Day. I mean, I'm Han Solo.
This is they talk about manufactured holidays. This is the ultimate manufactured holiday, right?
Well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, it used to be, it was just like chocolates and roses, but then it came like jewelry, and now they make you think it's like practically Christmas.
Who's they?
Them. The Illuminati.
We got to take it back old school, flogging the saints.
Flogging the saints, that's right.
You went old school. I thought you were going to say we have to have massacres. Valentine's Day massacre. You don't remember that? No? Okay. Just me. This stuff I remember from U.S. history. Oh man, I got my tickets for Brave New World for Saturday the 14th. Or
Nice.
Saturday the 15th.
That'll be a nice Valentine's Day present to yourself.
So me and my date is my daughter and her fiance.
Nice. I don't know. I'll probably watch it. I don't know when. What did you think of that Fantastic Four trailer?
For a tease, it's good.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
I'm a little apprehensive about how it fits into everything, with that throwback to the 60s, but
It's going to be like, it's the multiverse. It's going to be like an alternate timeline or some nonsense.
yeah. You're probably right, but that's actually not what I want to see. I think we need to get back from the multiverse, but I understand.
Well, I mean, it's going to be, they've already established that like the X-Men are on another, universe or whatever. So it's going to be like the Fantastic Four coming from their universe, and all these universes are going to converge, and then they're going to have a whole new. That's how they can restart everything, because they got all the actors are from the original ones are done with their contracts, so this is the way that they're going to be able to redo things and revamp. Yeah, Eddie. He looks pretty different as Eddie, though. I mean, you got to say, I don't think he's that. I don't see Eddie immediately when I see him. Yeah, but Eddie was like such a Hessian, and Johnny Storm is much different character. Dude, July is crazy because it's like the new Jurassic Park, then then Superman, then Fantastic Four. Superman sandwiched right in the middle of them. So it's gonna be a lot of people are saying it's gonna be the new Barbenheimer. It's gonna be Jurassic Super Califragilistic Fantastic Four stick or whatever. Who knows? I think just you. Napua never submits.
Huh?
I'm not hearing
Sorry.
everything. I think I'm having technical difficulties. I hear Scott. I hear Drew. I do not hear Michael.
Did you submit for that fantasy exhibit at Arts and Marks?
Oh, now I hear you. Did not.
Just me. I apparently had my email wrong on my submission form, so I didn't think I got in. They called me at the end of the day today, wondering how come I wasn't at load in. It's like I never received a confirmation.
Oh, so you
So-
got in.
I did get in, but now I gotta scramble tomorrow to try and get everything ready.
Yeah, you can do it. You're good at that.
Yeah. So I did get in. It's gonna be fun trying to get everything ready in time, but so I'm the kind I don't normally frame stuff up until I know for sure it's going in, because taking it back out of the frames is no fun.
Sure.
Well, congratulations, anyways.
Thank you. How come you didn't submit though? Fantasy's right up your alley.
I know. I don't know. Haven't really been doing much art lately.
Yeah, me neither. And I just finished a commission and sent that out, and then they liked the commission, but then I guess I missed something in the specs. It's like, damn it. So now I got to redo commission.
You sent it to them and they got it, and
Yeah, it's my fault. I mean, it's something I missed in the specs. I went back and looked at the messages they sent, and it's like, shit.
reading is hard.
It is for something so fundamental.
Do you remember that reading is fundamental? Do you remember those ads? Riff.
Participated in Riff.
Did you?
Yeah. That's why I wear glasses. Because I was reading.
Because all the reading.
Because I was reading in the dark. Yeah. It was like one of those contests. You read so many books and you get so many points or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, does Scholastic still do that?
The contest or the book fair. I think they still do the book fairs.
Yeah, they still do the
Well,
book fairs.
I'm just curious if Scholastic still does those. Read so many, get a free book or something.
Like they used to do Book It. You read a bunch of books and they'd stamp your card, and then you go to Pizza Hut and get a personal pan pizza. That was the bomb. I don't know if they do that anymore. Maybe.
Reference image. I lost one of my reference images. I can't find it again. Dang it. Dang it. Oh, what's everybody else been up to? Anything exciting going on?
I get surgery on Friday.
You have surgery on Friday?
Yeah.
Oh, you got approved for your gender reassignment? Congratulations.
They're gonna take out my gallbladder.
Oh, no congratulations.
Fun.
Yeah, you weren't using it anyway, right?
I guess not.
You haven't the gall for it.
Yeah.
Huh. what happens after they take out your gallbladder?
I don't know. I think I get a list of things that I'm not supposed to try to avoid.
Yeah. Like what specifically?
I think I heard fried type of stuff and greasy stuff.
Yeah, you're probably better off without that.
It was like not that to me that because I don't eat a whole lot of that kind of stuff, so it's not too bad. But then, like if I get a kidney transplant, then I gotta avoid raw stuff. So it takes out my sushi and my poke, and then that's gonna be kind of painful.
Oh, that sucks.
Gosh, what are you supposed to do for protein?
I don't know.
Chicken?
Muscle milk. I don't know. Yeah, chicken probably, right? Except for fried
Muscle
chicken.
milk. Did you say muscle milk?
Yeah.
Muscle.
Muscle milk. How long is that surgery scheduled for?
I think it's short. I think it's only like an hour or something like that.
Connie said she's trying to get in, but she's having some trouble.
So you gotta knock on the door 3 times. That's the password.
What kind of trouble?
She says having issues signing in, logging in.
She's got the right link. I know I sent that to her a minute ago.
Tell her if at the bottom of her screen has that weird bar, close that out, and then the login button appears over there.
I don't know what you're talking about, Scott. Hold on, let me switch my Facebook account so I can actually see she messaging me. No. Well, let's see. Sorry, I'm going to my Facebook Messenger right now so I can see what she's saying. She didn't message me. She must message you directly, huh?
Yeah.
Special.
I don't know, Scott. Can you explain that to Napua to pass along then?
You know when you're trying to log in at the bottom, they have that like the beautification stuff or that weird nonsense, whatever.
Okay.
You cancel that thing out because that thing is hiding the login button.
Okay.
That's where I was having problems before. I don't know if that's
Okay.
a problem.
Okay. I'll let her know.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Scott. I don't get those something about beautification.
It's like, you turn it on, you can change your background, or you can make like the filter stuff.
I said I don't think I get the same login stuff that you get. Are you guys on mobile devices?
No, on my laptop.
Oh, Did that help, Depois?
She hasn't said anything yet, so I think she's trying to work it out.
Drew, we should do a Black History Month stream when you want to do that.
I don't know. Does the weekend work best for you, or is it during the week better?
Somewhat flexible. What's better for you?
I mean, I don't do anything during the week anyway. So if you want to do something during the week or the weekend, it really doesn't matter. I'm available whenever. So yeah, I don't know. Let's do it during the week. Let's do it on like let's see.
February.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's February now. Let's see. Maybe not this week, but how about during the week sometime next week? Just on a day that isn't Wednesday.
Okay. Figure something out.
Okay. That would be fun. Since I'm so qualified to do anything on behalf of Black history.
Well, that's kind of why I'm doing Ironheart tonight, you know? Killing two birds with one stone. Gotta piss off the neckbeards.
I don't know. My brother went to the protest in Atlanta today.
Oh, good for him.
He was there for a little bit. So. I don't know. It's like Atlanta is like this blue marble in a sea of red. I feel like it's kind of preaching to the choir, you know?
Yeah, but that's also where it's probably safe to do something like that, you know?
Well, yeah, you're not wrong.
Well, how's the Macabre Tales coming along?
we kind of hit that middle dead area on Kickstarter. Got like a little more than a week left, almost 2 weeks. And it's usually like the first couple of days is when it's the most exciting. And then the last couple of days, it starts to pick up again. So right in the middle kind of sucks.
Ah, okay. Well, put out the information. Where's it at? What do we look for on Kickstarter?
It's a project we love, Macabre Tales 2. You can also look up horror anthology or under comic books.
I think it's awesome that Kickstarter picked it as one of their projects they love. I think that's pretty freaking cool.
I actually asked them if they could put us in the diversity category for like Asian Americans, Pacific Islanders, and Native people. And they wrote back and said that they're just going to make it a project that we love. And I was like, okay, that's great too.
That's awesome.
Right, that's it.
They draw Riri Williams with like fairly large hair, and I'm always wondering how she gets it in her helmet.
It's soft. You just push it down and then pick it out when you take the helmet off.
But imagine what she'd look like in real life when she took the helmet off, just hair just pressed against her head.
Yep, helmet hair.
It's like, the things I think about. Doing social media in this new political climate's interesting. It's like I can't trust followers anymore. It's like ooh.
Yeah.
I have to look at who's following now and see if I need to block them or not.
As long as nobody posts that stuff like on my post or like sends stuff to me, I don't really mind too much. It's just a difference of opinion, but if it's going to be something violent or, stuff like that, extreme, yeah, then I've got a problem with it.
I have a different issue with that though, Depu. I'm not worried about what people post. I'm worried about who are these people now. I don't know. Are you a real person?
Oh. I heard that Twitter is getting rid of all the people that are anti.
Anti what?
Current regime.
No. I don't know. I mean, I still see some on there, but honestly, my Twitter feed has been so quiet because most of the people I followed all went to Blue Sky. Like
RMX stopped by and said Happy Valentine's Day and wishes
Happy
everybody
Valentine's Day, RMX.
So, thank you for the kind wishes, RMX. Hope you have a great Valentine's Day.
Tomorrow is actually my wedding anniversary. 15 years.
15
Holy
years.
moly.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
It's comfortable.
Yeah, that's what everybody wants to hear. I'm just with you because it's comfortable.
Happy anniversary.
Oh, thank you. Scott was the best man at our wedding.
Really?
Well, then why'd you marry Lawrence? RMX says, you guys, I'll try not to be a big one for this holiday since I'm single. Okay, utterly alone, but also on the side, I agree with you guys. Okay. Says his father isn't too happy with what's going on. Okay, well, I don't want to. R joined. R! Where's R? There's R.
Hey, Ron.
Can you hear me?
Can hear you now.
Good. Hello.
Hi, Ron.
How you doing, Ron?
Hello.
Hi, Ron Man.
Hi, Napur.
Do you still have that cartoon, Ron?
What
It's an
cartoon?
Iron Man drawn with all the hi, Ron.
Yeah, I have it somewhere. Yeah, that's the one Gwen made, right? Yeah. That's why I don't talk to her anymore.
Okay, Connie says it's not recognizing her camera.
Oh, that might be a rights thing. She might have to go into the settings and give the app
Permission.
rights. Yeah.
Okay.
Ron, how are you doing?
All right. What about you guys? It's been
Well, you know how we used to ask you how you were doing when the animation industry was like all in a turmoil and the writers' strike and the studio strikes.
yeah.
Now it's our turn.
So yeah, Sonia still works at home, and she's been cussing a lot.
She's been what?
Cussing.
Cussing a lot.
What,
Yeah.
what does Sonia do?
She it's for the Department of the Army, payroll.
Yeah, billing,
check.
right?
Yeah,
Payroll
billing.
billing.
Okay.
One of those.
Yeah.
But it's for Department of the Army.
Yeah.
So she falls in there like DOD, right? Like,
I guess so. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, she'll be fine.
You sure? Seems like he's cutting everybody.
Well,
Aren't you guys DOD also?
I'm DOD.
Yeah.
You know, the first time Trump was president and they talked about doing a RIF, which it seems like that's every time we have a Republican president, they always talk about doing a reduction in forces.
Mhm.
But when President Trump, during his first presidency, was pushing for the RIF, everybody was sweating blood and we were all kind of freaked out. And I remember they were like talking about getting all these like, employment services for us and trying to help find ways of relocating people like to different jobs, not like move them off island, but find other jobs for them and stuff. And everybody was kind of freaking out. And then it ended up like nothing happened. Like we all had our jobs still, and maybe that's didn't happen everywhere, but at Pearl Harbor, we all managed to keep our jobs. And I don't know, I feel like this time, this version of the Trump presidency feels different. It doesn't feel like it did the last time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Feels like they're more accepting, to what he's
well, doing. I mean, I don't want to get into it, but I think I'm not positive, but at the same time, I'm not going to make myself sick worrying about it. I'm just going to go to work, do my job, and just wait and see what happens. Because it's not going to do me any good to get myself all stressed out about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Armex says he's heading off to bed. All right. Good night, Armex.
All right.
Sweet dreams.
Thanks for swinging by.
Don't let the bed bugs bite.
You ever dealt with bed bugs?
I have not, thankfully. Don't jinx me.
They're not fun.
We have back in Eva Beach when we were there. I mean, we didn't get bitten or anything. We just noticed like one or two, and we thought like, oh man, those are bed bugs. So we had to like steam clean everything, basically. So, but then again, we only saw one or two, and that was it. But we didn't see any more when we turned over everything. And yeah.
Well, I mean, when it comes to insects, they say for every one you see, there's probably 500 more that you don't. But, so it's probably good that you steam cleaned everything. And
yeah, they're not pleasant to deal with.
Yeah. Well, bees are good, right?
bees?
Yeah, they're helpful.
Bees are freaking awesome.
Yeah. Well, I saw a massacre. We saw a bee massacre a few months ago.
A bee massacre.
Well, the neighbor next to us had I guess, an infestation of bees or whatever you call them, but the bees started. I guess an entire hive started.
That's called a musk of bees.
A musk. Is that what the bunch of bees called? A musk of bees.
An infestation is a musk of bees.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah, they started, having. I guess their hive was the right next to the chimney, and so they. I guess I suggested, why don't you get a beekeeper? Relocate them. But fortunately, beekeepers are expensive. Exterminators are not. They're expensive, but they're not as much as beekeepers, I guess. So the guy came and eliminated the entire hive. Well, most of the hive anyway.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, that's kind of sad. I mean, they felt bad too. What can they do? They can't afford a beekeeper. They're much too expensive. So, yeah.
They should have built a hive and started keeping bees themselves. Just convince them to move into the hive.
Just grab the queen and put her in there, and they follow.
Can't be that hard, right?
It sounds like famous last words.
We can do it.
I had never, somehow I managed to go through life without ever getting stung by a bee.
Really?
And then I think I was maybe 18 or 19, and I got stung by a bee. And it stung me on my hand, and my hand swelled up huge. And everybody was like, "Oh my God, I think you're allergic to bees." And I'm like, it's like, is this what happens when you get stung by a bee? And they're like, no, your hand shouldn't be that big. And I was like, oh. And so I end up going to the emergency room, and I'm sitting in the emergency room and waiting forever. And then they come and they look at me and they're like, why are you here? And I'm like, well, I got stung by a bee. And they just looked at me like I was a big baby. And I was like, no, it's I'm just like, my hand, look at my hand. And they're like, it's because the skin on your fingers is thin, and it swells up there because you just got a big dose of the bee venom, but it's like, we're fine. And I'm like, well, I didn't know. I've never been stung by a bee before. I didn't know if I was allergic. And they're like, well, if you were allergic, you'd be dead. And I'm like, well, if I was dead, I'd be dead because you had me sitting in the waiting room for like 3 hours. So, just like, but it's like the doctor, they were like really admonishing me for being a big wiener. And I just thought it was pretty funny.
Damn. I mean, I guess if you're allergic to bee stings, I think you would have a hard time breathing. Seems like people.
Yeah, they were like, they were like, you'd be going through like your lungs and all, your airways would be closing up and all this stuff. And I'm glad that didn't happen. Thanks. And then they billed me like this ridiculous bill. And I remember because I wasn't at home. I was actually in New York State, like near Albany, New York, and I had to go to the emergency room there. And my parents got the bill because I was still under my parents' insurance, and they got the bill and they were mad as hell. They're like, "What is this bill for going to the emergency room in New York?"
How much was the
Well,
bill?
that's also you went to emergency room in New York too, so that's part of the thing.
Well, it wasn't New York City.
I have a feeling New York is empathetic as a normal, like a rural hospital.
Well, man, this is Albany ain't New York City. This was like redneck town. This was like a lot of hillbillies like fucking around.
Oh, it's not the state, not the city.
Yeah, New York State. Like I said, near Albany. In this area they called the Finger Lakes.
You know what I know the Finger Lakes for?
What?
You know that SNL skit? You ever see that Junice with the
which she's got those little hands?
Yeah, that's the one with the little hands.
That's in the Finger Lakes? I thought it was supposed to be like the Lawrence Welk show or something.
Yeah. So they're the sisters. She's a part of like her and her sisters are from the Finger Lakes.
Oh my god.
So
well, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, there was some slack-jawed local yokels, walking around.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it was like, it was not New York City. I'll tell you that much. I never been to New York City. My older brother, offered to take me and my younger brother to New York City. We came to visit him. He had like some kind of like when your siblings can like visit you. He was going to the University of Connecticut, and they had this thing where like your siblings can visit. So me and my younger brother Aaron visited him at University of Connecticut, and he was like, "Do you guys want to go to New York City? I could take you to New York City." And I said no. I was like, and he was like, and he was like, "Why not?" And I was like, "I just don't want to go there." And I never told him, but the reality, I didn't want to go there because in my mind, I was afraid of New York City. Like I thought it was just nothing but like muggers and thieves, and all I could think of was the movie The Warriors, and I was just like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go to New York City. So we went to. He was like, "Where do you guys want to go?" And so me and my younger brother were like, "We want to go to Springfield, Massachusetts." Because that was the home of the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay.
So we went.
Springfield,
he was like,
Massachusetts.
Yeah. So he took us to the Basketball Hall of Fame, and then he convinced us to stop in Boston. So we went to Boston.
How was your experience there?
Honestly, I had some of the best pizza I've ever had in my life. It was at a pizza, just some random pizza place in Boston, and then I drank. They had this stuff like it tastes like root beer, but it's clear. It was called birch beer. It like he like ordered a pitcher of birch beer, and they bring it out, and it looked like a pitcher full of Sprite. But when you drink it, it tastes kind of like root beer. It was incredible. So we were drinking birch beer, which I guess is a big New England thing, and then and eating pizza, which was fantastic. And then we walked around. We went to Yale. We walked around the campus of Yale, and then we went back to Connecticut. It was fun. I had a good time.
Oh, that's good. Never Didn't make it to New York City then at that time.
No. No, I was afraid. It was like, seriously, I thought it was going to be like, some kind of post-apocalyptic nightmare dystopia. I was dumb.
Thought it would be like Escape from New York.
Yeah, like everything I'd seen of New York was like Escape from New York, Chud, The Warriors. Like I just had all these images of just like, like I said, I thought it was some kind of dystopian, horrible urban nightmare, and I just had no desire to go there. My younger brother was pretty mad. He was like, "Why don't you want to go to New York?" And I was like, "Just leave me alone."
Well, I kind of understand that. Well, that fear from something not real. There was so this is back when we were kids, and we were wrestling fans. So back then, WWE was WWF,
Yeah,
and so you had the different organizations, NWA, AWA, and all that.
yeah.
So this was part of the NWA, and I guess the Polynesian territory was part of the NWA, and we would watch it. We'd watch it on some kind of like on cable. It was Texas, the Texas territory, which is still part of the NWA also. But anyway, there's this one wrestler named Maniac Mark Lewin, and his manager was the Prince of Darkness, Kevin Sullivan.
Oh.
And when we watched the match, he beat up two of the guys, and he choked one of the guys, and he started foaming at the mouth. And I remember my brother and I got scared when he was like basically killing this other wrestler until all the other wrestlers came and broke it up. But during the shoot interviews he doesn't say anything. He just stares at the camera and rolls his eyes back once in a while. And so when we heard that Kevin Sullivan and Maniac Mark Lewin was, going to be featured in a wrestling event in Hawaii, it was at some kind of arena on Pearl Harbor, I think.
Oh wow.
And they said like Kevin Sullivan and a Maniac Mark Lewin. My brother and I got legitimately scared.
Yeah, but how old were you?
I think we were in like I was in, I guess, 5th grade. So my brother was in 3rd grade.
Yeah, see, I was 15 and afraid of going to New York. Okay, that's ridiculous.
It would have been
Block Arena. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Yeah. So they were going to be there, and then we thought that, they're not going to just stay they're going to like walk around the tourist area or walk around the island. And my brother and I got scared that they might walk into our neighborhood. Because he would just stare at the camera and roll his eyes back.
That's funny.
How we're doing on time? 40 minutes, okay.
And then a couple of years later, I think I was in intermediate and junior high. We saw him wrestle in another organization. I think it was like New Japan Pro Wrestling or something. And then he was a good guy. And then once we saw that, we were like, wait a minute, this wrestling may not be legit.
I watched the documentary on Ric Flair. He had one of those ESPN documentaries.
Yeah,
it was fantastic.
30
I really enjoyed it.
Yep.
Yeah, 30.
Ric Flair. He's my favorite wrestler, actually.
He's incredible. I mean, what a life.
Yeah.
But I just thought the whole thing about how like he had that. His big rival was it Dusty Rhodes?
He had several. Like Dusty Rhodes was one. Ricky Steamboat was another one. But it's usually
Yeah,
Steamboat and Dusty.
but they were talking about how I guess like him and Dusty were friends. Like I think they even lived in like the same neighborhood and used to have like barbecues on the weekends.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just kept imagining those cartoons with like the dog and the wolf, you know,
Yeah.
the sheepdog, and how like when they're at work they're beating the hell out of each other, but then after they punch out they're like, "Have a good night, Sam." Like, "You too, Ralph." You know, like.
Yep.
That's funny.
Dusty Rhodes used to, I guess, book the matches. He's a booker, I guess they would call him.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, he booked a lot. He would call talent, and when they had an event, call them up, and then just made the matches. I mean, he'd participate also, but yeah. I so wanted to have like Ric Flair's robe. I wanted one for my own. You know that Liberace-like robe that he would walk into the ring with?
Yeah.
It's like,
It's
oh
like-
man, I want one of those.
It's Rick the Nature Boy.
Napua, you watch wrestling?
I used to in the early 90s. I was in elementary school, and it was all about the WWF and Hulk Hogan at that time.
Yeah. Was Ric Flair in the WWF at that time? Did he join?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I know there was what, WCW for a long time, and then they kind of got absorbed.
Yeah, they used to have a lot of these, I guess, territorial organizations. But the three
Yeah.
main ones was the NWA, AWA, and WWF. Then the WWF started absorbing all these local territories, wrestling territories. And so eventually, I think the NWA eventually became the WCW. Because Ted Turner bought it out. And I think the AWA was actually absorbed into the WWF. But those were the good old days.
Good old days.
And you can tell how good a wrestler somebody was is if they can really, act the part.
Yeah.
If they were like, and one of the best examples is when they apply the iron claw. Do you know what that is?
No.
The claw.
Yeah, basically you grab someone's head and like you're squeezing it, and supposedly that knocks them out. And so when somebody does that to you, the guys that have the claw applied to them, they convulse and they look like they're dying or they're about to pass out. I was like, oh, man, that's just great acting.
It's funny. I remember watching maybe a little bit, but I was never like huge into it. But my grandmother loved wrestling.
Yeah, just watching half naked oily guys just jumping around.
that's exactly why she liked it, because I was like, Grandma, why do you like wrestling so much? She's like, I like those big men. And I was just like, oh my god.
I don't think you hear that, Grandma.
It was so funny because she'd be sitting in her chair knitting while watching wrestling, and then it should be pretty quiet. And then occasionally she'd just hear, "Smash him, get him," or like, wow, she was so funny.
Yeah, you tend to forget that the older people in your lives were sexual beings at one point too. You know.
My mom said that she said it was even worse when she was younger because apparently she used to watch it, back in like the 50s. I guess she was all big into, was it Bruno Sammartino and
Oh, yeah.
Chief Strongbow?
Chief J Strongbow. Yeah. Well, before they had Ric Flair, there was another. I think it was called the Golden Boy, Buddy Rogers or something.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it was all black and white back then, but you can tell
yeah,
they were blonde. And they were the faces, they call them,
yeah.
the good guys.
I like the heels. The heels are the
The heels are the best. That's why I like Ric Flair so much.
yeah.
Just knew how to.
He really relished it.
Yeah. He'd always come on and say how much his watch cost and his suit and his
His
shoes.
shoes. See this shoe? This shoe is worth more than you make in a year. It's just like, oh.
I just like it whenever he gets like hit or something like that. He'll do that thing where he'll walk 2 steps and then flop on his face. The other one that was good with the mic was Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Oh yeah,
He was great. He was very insulting to everybody. He called the regular people ham and eggers.
yeah.
Ham and eggers.
Yeah, you start off breakfast with ham and eggs, so you're like one of the regular people, working class people.
I enjoy a good plate of ham and eggs, to be honest with you.
Green eggs and ham and eggs.
Hey, what's the topic?
Hearts. You gonna draw something?
Oh no, just curious. Who sang that song, Two of Hearts?
Oh, 2 of Hearts.
Yeah, that one.
Hearts.
Yeah, that one.
Is that like, who was that? Shit, I gotta look it up. I want to say it's something like Stacy Q.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
Yep, Stacy Q. Wow, am I good or what?
Is that in excess? She's right.
No. Two of Hearts.
Da, da, bada, 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 bada.
Did it access
Oh,
to?
that's
Oh,
that I need you tonight.
yeah. There's that similar.
Yeah.
Wait, that doesn't sound like that Stacy Q song.
No, but they both have two.
Okay. Well, that U2 song has two in it.
Two hearts beating as one. Yeah, I love that song.
And Queen of Hearts by Juice Newton.
Playing with the Queen of Hearts. Oh, that's a good one.
That reminds me of doing aerobics in high school.
They made you do aerobics in high school?
Yeah,
Did you guys have to do chicken fat?
part of physical PE, But I remember Queen of Hearts. That's like songs. You tie songs to certain memories. That's the memory
Sure.
for me for Queen of Hearts.
No, I hear you. The first time I ever slow danced with a girl was Kansas's "Dust in the Wind," and anytime I hear that song, I always think about being in like 6th grade dancing with this girl I went to school with.
Yeah.
Oh.
Same kind of thing. That ain't really smart. Joker's the only fool who will do anything for you.
We always used to say, "Playing with the Queen of Farts," and then make a fart noise.
Ron, did you watch the Fantastic Four trailer? Connie's not able to get in still, so she's going to watch from the outside.
Oh. Sort of. I wanted to watch the real trailer, the legit trailer. I just saw like a reaction to the Fantastic Four trailer.
Ugh.
I don't
Not
know.
a fan of it.
Galactus looks small to me. Like one shot, his shadows over the city. And there's another over-the-shoulder shot of him looking at the Statue of Liberty. And then, did he shrink?
Galactus could always change his size. He changes his aspect. because it's like his physical manifestation. That's just how he appears to like human beings.
He's actually a cloud.
He's not a cloud.
Stop it. Just stop.
He's not a Tuma.
Off with their
No,
heads.
but
Yeah, that's right. I've seen him in the comic books at different sizes. But I was for some reason I always thought that he was.
no, because if you look at the first appearance in Fantastic Four,
yeah,
like number 50, whatever was it, 52, 53? I can't remember. Anyway,
he's a building, right?
well, when he first pops up, he's ginormous, but by the end of it, he's standing on top of the Baxter Building. You know, like he's able to sort of like manifest in another, like his size seems to change within that same issue, like a bunch. And then later, did you ever read it was called The Trial of Reed Richards, where it's like, I guess one time Galactus was like dying and Reed Richards saves him. And then all of these planets, or rather the survivors from these planets whose like homeworlds had been destroyed by Galactus.
Yeah.
They convince like the Shi'ar Empire to arrest Reed Richards. And they put him on trial and this like cosmic tribunal to stand trial for saving Galactus. And
how do you save Galactus?
I think he figured out whatever like energy thing that had damaged him. He helped him find like a world that was uninhabited so that he could like absorb the energy and, you know, survive. Because Reed decides that like Galactus serves a purpose and that he had like the order of it gets you know, he decides that it's best for the order of the universe that there is a Galactus. So he stands trial, and like the Watcher is there to watch the trial, and like all these aliens are there, and like the Shi'ar Imperial Guard is there, and the Fantastic Four is there too, and they're hoping that Reed, you know, makes it through the trial and doesn't get executed. And then Galactus himself shows up to speak on Reed's behalf. And all the aliens that are there, it shows like there's one page where it shows all these different aspects of Galactus, and to like every species in the universe, Galactus looks different. Like his aspect changes based on, I guess, like where you're from or.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway, I thought it was pretty cool.
My favorite take on Galactus is like he's not a villain or a good guy. He's just like a force of nature kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, well, that's what Reed argues. And ultimately, the universe agrees and decides to set him free, and that they understand that Galactus is like beyond their comprehension.
In Marvel Zombies, they made it kind of like he had a disease that made him hunger all the time. And then that's how all the Marvel like heroes and villains got infected with the disease and they became zombies because they are just hungry all the time. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Huh. So Galactus's disease turned the Marvel heroes into zombies?
Yeah, that was the whole Marvel Zombies like split universe thing.
Interesting.
Planets. Must have planets. I don't think I've ever read Marvel Zombies. Was it good?
I liked it.
I only read like maybe 2 issues of it, and because I missed, like I came into it like in the middle, so I was like a random issue, number 4 or 5 or something, who knows. And I just remember Machine Man was in it, and the zombies basically hate him because he's not alive. So it's like he's immune to their, like, they can't devour him, and so they see him as like the enemy. And then I think oddly it was like Morbius was kind of like a hero. Anyway, at least in the one that I read anyway.
Later on, they had a crossover with Ash from Army of Darkness. I
Oh,
didn't
that
read it,
sounds
but it looked
awesome.
awesome. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I'll have to look that up. That sounds like fun.
Gotta catch them all.
Wow.
Not Ash Ketchum, Ash Williams.
Shop smart. Shop S smart.
What is he? I just always like, all right, listen up, you medieval screwheads.
It's my boomstick.
Made in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
All right, let's for those of you that are drawing, let's take a look at what we've got so far. We're over an hour in. Maybe I can take some time while we're wrong, but I think I'll figure it out today. Okay, Connie, sorry. Connie was going to join us, but I guess she's having technical difficulties. I'll go first since I'm already on camera. So here's my Ironheart so far.
Riri.
Who wants to go next? Drew, you ready? Since you're on camera already. Scott, you can get ready. Bring your camera up. All right, what am I looking at here, Drew?
I'll pull it together. I'll pull it together at the end.
Okay. Who's it supposed to be?
It's gonna pull together at the end.
All right. Here's Scott.
Oh, the Pink Ranger.
The
Pink Power Ranger.
Okay. Napoo, are you showing anything tonight, or?
Yeah.
Oh, there's Napoo. Okay, thank you, Scott. Here's Napoo.
Hey.
Yeah.
Well, look at those. It is caked. I didn't realize he was loading that around. All right.
Lovely.
Hey,
Hey, Napua, shouldn't you be working to get the Macabre 2 together?
It's mostly together. It's almost there.
Oh,
Stay in your lane, Ron.
Hey, where's Johnald today?
Oh, he's
Sure.
off here and there
Oh,
and everywhere.
Like the gummy bears, here and there, and everywhere.
Yes.
is that what they sang? I guess.
I
I
like that,
remember the
Joe.
I remember the Squishy Bears from Eat the Cat.
The Squishy Bears? I love Deke the Cat, but I don't remember the Squishy Bears.
Yeah, I think that they were with that cartoon, Eat the Cat, the Squishy Bears. We just last night we just saw the documentary about Mike Mignola.
Oh, how was it? I've been wanting to watch that.
It's actually pretty good. You know, the way he started off. I didn't know he. Well, they made it seem like he's always putting his work down. You know, he comes across as like, oh, nobody will hire me. I'm not that good. Blah blah blah. And he's getting all these jobs, but he's like saying all these things. And then when I guess Dark Horse contacted him, and they wanted these comic book artists, independent comic book artists, or just comic book artists that work for the two major companies to come up with their own stuff and they'll publish it. So they contacted Mike Mignola, Art Adams, and a few other, some of the other, like John Byrne also.
Yeah, Joe's John Byrne and Jeff Darrow and
Yeah, Jeff Darrow was one of them, and then
Frank Miller.
yeah, and so they contacted all of them, but Mike said, you know, he kept turning them down because he pretty much said, "No, I'm not good enough. Why are you bothering me?" Until he finally came up with the concept of Hellboy, and then when he presented it to, I forgot what his name is, for the head of Dark Horse.
Mike Richardson.
Yeah, he you know, he was like, "Oh, this is no good," and but I have this concept. This guy, his name is Hellboy, and yeah, that's not very good, but this is what I have. And he immediately said, "Oh, sounds good. But yeah, work on it." But he kept
Well,
saying that his work was no good.
he did an interview on Cartoonist Kayfabe a while back, and the way he talked, it sounds like his time at Marvel didn't go well for him, and they had always, I think, editorial at the time was not really happy with his work, and he
Yeah,
always
he
kind of
mentioned
felt.
that. He mentioned that.
I think that really kind of had a big effect on him. Like I think he really felt like, you know, he wasn't good enough and made him really doubt himself.
Yeah, that's why he came back to the West Coast after that. But there's somebody from Marvel that he met back in the West Coast that offered him an opportunity to, because he was just an inker when he started off, and the way he got jobs was that he would hang around the bullpen at Marvel, and they were cranking out so many titles that they just needed people to finish off do the inking. And so he was over there just hanging out and said, okay, you here, just ink this.
Well, there was an issue he did of I think it was like X-Force, and it was like a fill-in issue. And because I think it was right when Liefeld and those guys quit to go form Image, because Liefeld had been drawing X-Force, and then they suddenly needed somebody to they couldn't, the next issue had to be out and it wasn't done, so I guess it was one of those situations where he was in the bullpen, and so the job fell in his lap.
Yeah.
And the fans lost their mind. They hated it. And it's because it was so different from what Liefeld had been doing. But I go back and look at that issue, and it's beautiful. But it's like
how dare these people have feet?
But it's apparently he felt really underappreciated, and just that it didn't, it wasn't well received. Yeah, I need to see that documentary. I'm a big fan. I love Mignola's work.
Me too. We're watching that man, that's it.
Well, it's and all those guys, the West Coast guys, because it was him, a bunch of them were worked in animation too. It was Mignola. I think Rick Remender was one. A lot of people, Remender is known as a writer, but I guess he used to draw. And there's Remender, Mignola, Guy Davis. What's the other guy? The guy who's the Earthworm Jim guy. I can't remember his name, but there was all these dudes that were all kind of in, they all knew each other just from animation. And then Jeff Darrow, because Darrow had been doing a lot of animation work too.
Yeah. I mean, back when the animated series was influenced by Mignola.
How was it influenced by Magnolia?
Oh, there's just the darks. That's very similar.
Yeah, the chiaroscuro or whatever they call it.
Yeah. The heavy blacks in the scene. You know what? Macabre 3 is going to be in that style. My take on Mignola.
I wish I could do that. I see his stuff, and I just I have the urge to just try to fill spaces up with black.
Yeah. He just makes it work. So.
He does.
But yeah, I'm going to attempt that for this next one. You hear that, Napua? I'm going to attempt to do Mike Mignola style.
I think that's cool.
Yep. Just got to figure out a story now. Oh, just reading Connie's comments. I didn't know that. Really? People are complaining about his style being different from how he used to do it? Oh, I got to see this.
What, Mignola?
Yeah, that's what Connie says. Says, yeah.
Shit, I think he's almost, in my opinion, he's better now than he ever was.
I don't know. People just like to bitch.
Yeah.
God, say Queen of Hearts, off with their heads. I've done that one already. I did a Queen of Hearts before. Wizard of Oz. Or not Alice in Wonderland, sorry. Getting there. What's our theme next week? Oh, teddy bears. Is anybody going to go see that new?
Let me be your
It's
teddy.
Paddington. Do I get the character right this time? It's Paddington, right?
Paddington, yeah.
I haven't seen either one of the first two, so I'm going to be.
I saw the first one.
How was it?
I enjoyed it, to be honest with you, but like I really love those books. Although they got banned from bedtime because my brother and I would be laughing our asses off too much, we couldn't get to sleep.
Yeah,
My little
Paddington books banned from bedtime.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Like, you know, if my mom was reading to us before we went to bed, it had to be something that wouldn't get us all amped up so we could actually go to sleep.
Yeah, as a parent, I can get that. Kind of Kirby Crackle should have put behind her. What do you think? Should I?
I'm a big fan of the Kirby Crackle. I say the more the better. It's a good Gesundheit.
Gesundheit. What's that for?
I don't know. I think somebody sneezed.
I didn't hear anything.
Okay, maybe I'm going crazy.
Whenever somebody sneezes at the studio, there's a few people that said, "Oh, bless you." There's always somebody that says "bless you," and I remind them that I don't think they have the authority to.
I always go with salute. I always thought that was a better thing to say.
Salute.
You're literally like wishing.
The last week, one of the guys sneezed and he said, "Oh, excuse me," and so I yelled out, "No."
There's no excuse for you.
I did notice that, like, the women in the office that work in production, they have this like 70s look to them as far as their outfits go. I guess they shop at these antique stores or whatever. So I'm looking at them and I'm like, "Oh, that's very 70ish." And they said, "Oh, thanks." I'm like, "I didn't know that was a compliment."
Was it? How old are they?
Early 30s. But I guess they like that retro look. I don't know.
Well, like the retro thing was the '80s for a while. Maybe they've moved on to the '70s now.
I guess so.
I guess moved back. So
Yeah.
because like when I was like in my 20s, the '70s thing was like popular.
Yeah.
But I think it was just because that was like the stuff you could find. Like you could barely find '60s stuff at the thrift shops, but you could find lots of '70s stuff.
Yeah. Sometimes when we go to the Goodwill over here and drop off clothes, I do see some of the younger kids over there looking to the older to the racks, look for clothes from, I guess, that era.
Well, it's like when I was in my 20s, I thought the mod thing was cool because I knew all these guys that were like into like the Who and like
I still
Small
think it's
Faces.
cool. I still
Yeah,
think it's cool.
and there was this club in San Francisco called the Purple Onion, which is like it's a big comedy club now.
Yeah,
But it
yeah.
used to be like they used to have music there, and they used to do a mod night on the weekends, and there'd be just this fleet of scooters. It was like quadrophenia, like all these scooters parked out in front of the Purple Onion, and all these mods, and like the mod chicks was like so freaking cool with their like bob hairdos and like their cool those what are those dresses, like what do I call it? It's like a pencil skirt or whatever, and then
Yeah.
all the dudes were like all like in those sharp suits and stuff, and with the shaggy haircuts and everything, and I don't know, I just thought it was cool, and I could never find any of the clothes, all the '60s stuff. I couldn't find any of that in anytime I went to the thrift stores. All I could ever find was '70s stuff. It makes me crazy. I was like, how do you find this?
Man, I wish I could fit into some of those suits.
Well, I mean, I could when I was like 20. Oh.
Yeah.
Textured back. Anybody have anything coming up besides some cocktails? Ron, are you working on any cool projects?
No, just Bob's.
It's pretty cool.
Purchase.
Mm.
Bob's Purchase.
Oh, we did get our schedule for the next season, and well, they're saying because of the the budget now, where all of us have like a mandatory 4 months off for the year. So we go on hiatus for 4 freaking months.
So what are you gonna do?
Macabre Tales 3.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look for freelance if there is any, and then we roll back into the next season after 4 months.
No local conventions you could sneak into?
I guess I could. Well, they split it up. It's not like, sorry, it's not 4 months straight. It's like off 2 months, and then we roll back on, and then off 2 months again, and then like that.
No, it still seems like plenty of time. You find a convention that's just like in the right time frame.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, 2 months. There's got to be something around here, or some maybe back home. But I don't know. Kind of afraid to fly. No.
Hello?
You guys can hear that?
Ice, open up.
That's what I'm afraid of, man.
La migra.
When I heard that they were targeting Native American, like, okay, they're just going by skin color now.
Yeah, that's all they need.
Well, I thought it was they were legitimately going after the criminals. Stupid me. They're not.
I think Matt Frank had posted on his Instagram that he went to McDonald's and he said they were just stopping everybody who was brown walking into McDonald's.
Where was this?
In Arizona.
Jeez.
There's a lot of goddamn brown people in Arizona.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad I'm not in Arizona anymore.
Damn. That's...
Keep telling people, especially the minorities that supported him. It's like, when it comes down to it, they're not going to know you were one of the quote-unquote good ones.
Yeah. They're just stopping all the brown. See? That's why I don't want to fly. Just stay here.
Figure you won't make it back.
Yeah. What nationality? Well, I'm Filipino. All right, take them back to the Philippines. Wait a minute. One, I don't even speak that language. Two, I'm sure I have relatives there, but I don't know. Yeah, take Mike. At least
take Mike.
He can survive. He can survive over there.
I'll survive wherever I go, but I don't want to. It's like, are they going to give us choices? Like, deport me to England.
Connie says to draw Ted.
Ooh, someone draw Ted. That's for next week.
Oh,
yeah.
I think.
Yes.
We're doing teddy bears next week.
Ted.
Oh, the teddy bear.
Teddy bear. To draw any Ted.
Ted McGinty.
Teddy Ruxpin.
Ted McGinty.
That's
right.
Teddy Lasso.
Hey.
Teddy Roosevelt.
Ted Theodore Logan.
Hey, there you go. My brother put in for the deferred resignation that they offered to government employees. and they came back and told him he can't because he's an essential employee until after tax season. So they're going to make him work through the tax season, and then they'll probably give him a raise.
I wouldn't recommend taking it. I would trust them to actually honor any deal.
You know,
It's the same thing he did when he went into Twitter. He offered people buyouts and then never paid them. I would not trust him. I mean, I've considered early retirement, but I wouldn't do it through that deal.
yeah.
I would do the standard Vera. The voluntary early retirement. And I'm eligible because it's like 57. I think is the minimum. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't trust anything these guys are putting out. It's not my fault you don't read comments for 40 minutes. Except for it's Ted, the movie. Ted. Oh, that Ted. They draw Ted. That's another movie I haven't seen.
It's pretty fun. It's pretty vulgar, but it's fun. But I would still save that for Teddy Bear.
No, that's what she's talking about for teddy bears next week. Someone draw Ted. So we'll leave that to you, Drew. Draw Ted next week.
Okay. The movie has Flash Gordon in it. It's pretty awesome.
Ted. Maybe I'll watch Ted between now and then, see if it's any good. It's the one with Mark Wahlberg, right?
Yeah. Got Wahlberg. It's and then what's his name? Seth MacFarlane. He does the voice of Ted.
And the voice of Lois is the mom, right?
I think so. Yeah.
The voice of Lois. Oh, you mean from Family Guy?
Yeah.
I was thinking Lois and Clark, or it's that Superman show, the voice of Lois. What? Who does Lois? I'm trying to remember.
It's Mrs. Swan from Mad TV.
Mad TV. Yeah, that's right.
I can't remember her name.
Alex for something this?
Alex Borstein?
Yeah, something like that.
Wow. You got a mind like a steel trap, Scott.
It flashes on the screen every time you watch the show.
Rusty and dangerous.
Rusty.
Alex Borstein used to write for Freakazoid, I think.
Okay. That would explain some of the humor in that show.
Oof.
I'm looking for something bingeable. What do you guys recommend for that?
What do you have? You have Paramount.
Well, sorry, I'm looking at Connie's sets.
No.
She's saying through our next com, we received an anonymous email threatening consequences if we didn't report DEI illegal activity within the organization within 10 days. So all the previous Heritage Months had to be plastered over or replaced with any the displays, like the LGBTQ inclusion message and stuff. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Sorry you had to go through that, but hey, it keeps you employed.
Connie works for the military also.
Yeah, she does graphics for the commissary and the NEX.
Oh. Well, Sonia was just.
So I've seen her over at a little mini mart every now and then when they change out the displays.
Well, Sonia was telling me that all these like ethnic clubs, like Asian Engineer Club or something like that the military has.
Oh, they got to go away.
Yeah. She was saying they're all gone. They have to go away now. I didn't know there was.
Anything with minorities is going to be perceived as DEI.
Hmm.
Those of you that follow me on Facebook, I put out the letter that they sent out to DON for, cease and desist with all the Heritage Month observances and displays. And
So this is no longer Black History Month?
Not in any official capacity.
I'm the Navy.
After they put that out, I was leaving work and I was talking to my friend at work, my coworker, who just so happens to be African American. And we were talking about it, and we were walking, and he just sort of stopped and he just looked at me and it's like, and literally he just looked at me and said, "Why do they hate us so much?" And it kind of broke my heart. I don't know. Just I don't know.
Good question.
It's all Long Dong Silver's fault. Once they saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good question. Why do I hate those with different skin color?
So the posters I have up in my shop right now are the stuff from like World War II. I'm just wondering if that's going to be considered some of the DEI stuff at some point,
I mean, as long as it doesn't say something like "sock it to the dirty Japs" or kick the Krauts in the can or something.
No, that would probably be kosher.
Somebody I worked with had the poster in the office and it was the army guy holding a cup of coffee and it says, "How about a nice mug of shut the fuck up?" And I don't think it was an official thing. I think he had just printed it off or something, but I was, it used to crack me up.
Yeah, it's not an official one, that's for sure. But that came out around, at the same time as loose lips sink ships kind of thing,
Yeah.
That poster's been around for a long time.
How would the loose lips sink a ship?
How would it?
Yeah.
How wouldn't it, Ron? How wouldn't it?
Oh.
Not supposed to discuss deployment schedules and stuff like that.
I mean, it's like, somebody might say something about where somebody might be going to, and the next thing you know, there's like a bomb on the pier or some kind of crazy thing.
Well, I mean, there are people out there trying to hurt us, so.
Minorities or Americans in general?
Service members. I mean, true to both points, actually, but, that's a separate issue.
They're looking for vulnerabilities to exploit.
And who would they be? There's a lot of enemies out there.
Yeah. Take a number,
Do you think the biggest threat is, domestic?
I mean, to
Big threat to what?
To, I don't know, Americans?
It's the hardest to combat.
I mean, a few years ago, the FBI had listed white supremacist groups as like the number one terror threat in America. I don't know if the FBI is going to have that opinion anymore. But
That's what gets me.
I think we've pivoted back to Islam again. Yeah. Who knows? But yeah.
All right, I think I'm just about done. How are we doing on time? Look at that. 8 minutes to go. Good timing. Let's see. Connie's saying the perception I have is that they claim not to hate different races, but they resent the attention paid to the brown people, quote unquote brown people, via inclusion movements. Yeah, I don't know. And then she said, loose lips cannot clamp down on those hull leaks in the ship. You need muscle to keep that water out.
I don't know. What Connie's saying, I think, is just like how they rationalize it. I think it really does come down to like hundreds or thousands of years of just hating someone that looks different than you.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, we ready for last looks, folks, or you still going?
Well, I'm not done yet, but yeah, I guess I can.
I'll go first again. So here's Ironheart.
Thought Ironheart was a Silverhawk.
Ironheart and Iron Will.
Yeah, it wasn't Ironheart and Iron Will.
Or is it Steelheart and Steel Will? I can't.
Oh, maybe it was Steelheart.
Right, who's next? Drew, you ready?
Sure. That's what I got so far.
Shwa. Pretty.
Big eyes.
So who's that?
No, it's just a pretty lady.
Pretty.
Lady.
You dream weaver.
The color palette is based off of those candy hearts.
Ah.
Oh.
I was going to try to tie it in with them. Yeah, you're great, or whatever they say. Pick me, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so yeah, that's
Thank you, Drew. Napur or Scott, who wants to go next? Scott. Okay, here we go. Scott. It's Pink Power Ranger.
That's not a power. That's from what's that from?
Go Rangers.
Go Rangers. Yeah, Go Rangers. That's the precursor to the Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Well done.
Ready. Thank you. Thank you, Scott. And here is the Napurs. All right, ready for Heart's butt?
But.
What is that? What is that heart from?
Oh, I don't know.
I just think it's great.
I thought I'd seen something like that before.
Let her cook.
Let her cook. Let her cake. All right, thank you, Napur. Ron, you're not showing anything, right?
No.
Macabre Tales 3 in production. Or,
Yeah.
Still open for funding, right? Is that right?
Yep. 10 more days, or 11, 12, something like that.
Okay, 2 or 3.
So go support.
Well, 3 is in production right now, but you can start sending us money for 3. Right, Napur?
I'm not going to turn it away.
Go watch Bob's Burger. Keep Ron employed.
Yeah. Well, except for those 4 months, apparently.
Just the one Bob's Burger. Just the one burger.
Yeah.
What else? The fantasy exhibit that I'll be in starts Friday. Assuming I get all my shit done in a day. And
You can do it.
The artwork's done, but I got to frame everything up and label it and go down and hang it. So I don't do that until I know that I've been, and then I didn't think I was in, so the artwork's just in my binder.
Mm.
You can do it. I believe in you.
You can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Scott, anything coming up besides your surgery? Everybody wished Scott well on his surgery.
Yes.
What kind of
He's
surgery?
having
Good luck.
What's going
He's
on?
having an addictomy.
What? What's going on, Scott?
Just gallbladder stuff.
Oh. Gallstones removed?
Gallbladder.
Gallbladder?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need it anyway.
Connie, if you're still here, Connie, do you have anything to promote? We can talk about. Give Connie 20 seconds to type something in. Yeah. Good luck with the gallbladder surgery. Anything we do to help you out? You need us to bring you some food.
Yeah, geez.
Yeah, I'm good.
Just
Thank you very much.
Nothing fried.
Lucky fried.
Connie says good luck on the surgery.
Thanks, Connie.
RMX stopped by early and said hi to one of our regulars. I guess that's it. Did I miss anything?
No?
We got when does what's the next convention coming up? Is it KawaiiCon already?
Wow.
Qui-Con would be the next one, I believe.
When's that gaming one? Aren't you doing that one, Drew? The tabletop gaming?
Don't know yet. Haven't heard anything. I don't know. I don't think they want to do vendors just yet. I think they want to just keep it to just gaming.
Right. Got nothing to promote. Sorry, you were saying, Drew? Go ahead. Finish your thought.
Oh, I made a proposal, to the tabletop people of an idea for a thing, and they seemed interested in it, but I haven't heard anything back.
Oh, drawing the D&D profile pics.
Yeah, doing profile sheets for people.
I don't know. I saw that they're opening for artists, missions, and vendors. But I said, I don't. Yeah, there was a post about that like 2 days ago.
Oh. Go figure.
But it's like I could fake my way through it, but I don't have like inventory, of a bunch of D&D stuff. So I don't think I'll volunteer for that because I don't want to. All right, last call. Anything? All right, everybody say aloha.
No.
Aloha.
Hey, Drew.